Hi, I'm Jim Covington. Today is June 26, 2014. I'd like to welcome you to this week's issue of ISBA Statehouse Review. I have 6 bills that I'd like to talk to you about that are either on the governor's desk or have been enacted into law. The first one is Public Act 98-653 that amends the Township Government Governing Act, introduced by Senator Don Harmon from Oak Park and Representative Mike Fortner from West Chicago. And it requires that notices be posted 15 days in advance instead of 10 before annual and special township meetings and before a public hearing to sell or use township property. It also authorizes any group of registered voters to request an advisory opinion of public policy to be considered by the electors at the annual meeting with proper written notice to the township clerk in the same manner as required for an agenda item, which shall then be published on the Township Board's agenda. That took effect on January 18, 2014. The second one is Public Act 98-633 that amends the Workers' Compensation Act, introduced by Senator Kwame Raiola of Chicago and Representative John Bradley of Chicago, and provides that there is no right to recover damages for injury or death other than the compensation provided in the Work Comp Act itself from a service organization that is wholly owned by the employer or the employer's insurer or broker, and that provides safety service, advice, or recommendations. Current law immunizes from common law liability if the service organization is retained by the employer or the employer's insurer to provide, instead of provides, safety service, advice, or recommendations. That's effective January 5th, 2014. The next 4 bills have been sent to the governor, and he has not yet taken action on them yet. He usually has 60 days from the date it's been sent to him to take action. House Bill 5575, introduced by Representative Mike Zaleski of Chicago and Senator John Mulrow of Chicago, amends the Uninsured and Underinsureds Act of the Insurance Code to increase the levels of binding arbitration from $50,000 to $75,000 for death or bodily injury to one person, and from $100,000 to $150,000 for death or injury to 2 or more persons. And it will affect all policies issued or renewed on or after January 1, 2015. The next bill is Senate Bill 3532, introduced by Senator Matt Murphy from Palatine and Representative Ron Sandak from Downers Grove, and it fleshes out how a respondent gets an independent medical examination in a proceeding, one of 3 proceedings seeking involuntary admission, a proceeding seeking to administer psychotropic medication or electroconvulsive therapy, or 3, a proceeding seeking discharge of the respondent. It basically confirms current case law that's not spelled out in the statute that requires the court to determine the fees of the expert, and the expert's fees are to be paid by the respondent's county of residence. If the respondent is not a resident of Illinois, the fees are to be paid by the county in which the proceeding is pending. The third of 4 bills on the governor's desk is House Bill 5623 that amends the Local Records Act. It's introduced by Representative Ron Sandak from Downers Grove and Senator Art Turner from Chicago, and it requires a unit of local government, our school district, that serves a population of less than 1 million that maintains an internet website other than a social media or social networking website, to post to its website a mechanism such as a uniform single email address for the public to electronically communicate with those elected officials. It requires the information to be easily accessible through the local government or school district's webpage through a hyperlink, and that's been sent to the governor. The fourth and final bill is House Bill 5322, introduced by Representative Kelly Burke from Evergreen Park and Senator Kwame Raiola of Chicago. It amends the acts that governs condominiums and common interest communities so that condos and common interest communities may use electronics transmission, email and those sort of things, to communicate and to take action under their governing acts. And it creates procedures to do that that also require the consent of the unit owner to use the electronics transmission. It also prohibits secret ballots in elections for community interest communities. It does a lot more stuff in terms of laying out the procedure, how to use some of that stuff, but that's getting into a lot of detail, and you may look at that proposal under the General Assembly's excellent website, which is www.ilga.gov. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next week.